Welcome, dearly beloved anointed ones. Come closer and settle into this sacred moment with me. Take one slow breath, let your shoulders soften. Let the noise around you become quieter. Let the tension in your chest know that it does not have to become an accusation. Here, we gather to pray, to reflect, and to find strength in the moments when family relationships become difficult to understand. These messages are created to bring comfort to wounded hearts, renew faith, and gently guide you back toward peace. Truth and wise action. Tonight's message is about your sister, not the sister imagined by fear, not the sister turned into a secret enemy by a dramatic title, the real sister. The person with whom you may share history, memory, family stories, childhood wounds, laughter, disappointment, and love that has not always been easy. The original message says heaven is revealing hidden actions and warning that your sister has done something in secret. But we must begin carefully. A change in someone's behavior is not proof of betrayal. A dream is not evidence. A racing heart does not reveal another person's guilt. A difficult family season does not automatically mean someone has made a dark spiritual agreement. At the same time, sisters can keep secrets. They can compare, compete, withhold information, speak carelessly, cross financial or emotional boundaries, carry old resentment, loathe each other, and still cause real harm. This message is not here to make you suspicious of your sister. It is here to help you recognize what is actually happening, understand the history beneath it, and decide whether the relationship needs conversation, boundaries, repair, distance, or support. Archangel Michael is remembered as a protector and defender of truth. His presence in this message represents the courage to face family reality without hatred, the restraint to avoid accusation without evidence, and the strength to seek healing without denying harm. Stay with me as we move deeper, because before this message reaches its final prayer, we will explore three possible truths. What your sister may be hiding, what the two of you may have never healed, and what belongs to you, regardless of whether she ever explains herself. That final distinction may be the one that gives you the most peace. Beloved, when did the relationship begin to feel different? Was there one event? A conversation, a financial decision, a family gathering, a relationship, a move, an inheritance, a parent's illness? A period when one of you needed more support than the other could give? Or did the distance grow slowly? Fewer calls, shorter messages, different stories told to different people. A feeling that you were no longer speaking directly, but through the opinions of the family. Begin with facts, not signs, not spiritual interpretations. What was said? What happened? Who was present? What agreement existed? What expectation remained unspoken? Families often create pain through assumptions. She should have known. She should have defended me. She should have told me. She should have helped. She should have understood. But unspoken expectations can become invisible contracts. When those contracts are broken, both people feel betrayed even though neither clearly knew the terms. The first possible truth is that your sister may be hiding something practical, a decision, a debt, a conversation, a relationship, a mistake, a document, a financial arrangement, a health concern, information involving another member of the family. People hide things for many reasons: fear, shame, loyalty, avoidance, self-protection, a desire to control the outcome. Sometimes the secret is harmful, sometimes it is private rather than deceptive. Those are not the same. Privacy means a person is allowed to keep part of their life to themselves. Deception means they are creating a false picture that directly affects you. Ask whether the hidden matter changes your rights, safety, finances, reputation, responsibilities, or ability to make an informed decision. If it does, clarity is reasonable. If these prayers and messages have brought comfort, clarity, or strength to your life, you may choose to support this work through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is pinned in the comments and included in the description. Your support helps us continue creating thoughtful messages of faith, healing, and encouragement for people around the world. There is no pressure and no blessing, protection, or prayer is ever purchased here. Your presence is already deeply valued. If it does not, your sister may still be entitled to privacy. Before we continue, subscribe if this channel helps you pray, reflect, and return to peace. Subscribing does not reveal family secrets or earn divine protection. It simply helps you find these messages again when you need encouragement. Take another breath. Perhaps you suspect that your sister knew something about a relationship, a job, a move, a family decision, and she did not tell you. Before deciding why, ask whether she truly knew, whether the information was complete, whether she had permission to share it, whether she feared becoming trapped between people, whether she misunderstood the seriousness. Withholding can be painful, but intention matters. A person may cause harm through fear without planning to harm you. This does not erase responsibility. It changes how repair may begin. Now let us continue. If the issue involves money, property, caregiving, inheritance, business, or legal responsibility, do not rely only on emotion. Gather documents, review dates, ask direct questions. Seek independent professional guidance when necessary. Do not sign under pressure. Do not accept family should trust family as a replacement for clear terms. Clarity can protect relationships. Many families avoid documentation because it feels cold. Then resentment grows because no one remembers the agreement the same way. Love and written clarity can exist together. You may say, I want us to remain family, and that is why I need this clearly explained. I am not accusing you. I am asking for the facts. Please send the agreement in writing. I need time to review this before I decide. I will not discuss money while being pressured. These sentences do not declare war. They create structure. If you discover a genuine lie, pause before confronting. Decide what you need: an explanation, a correction, repayment, a boundary, an apology, a legal remedy. Do not enter the conversation with only rage. Rage knows what it hates. It does not always know what repair requires. There is another source of pain between sisters that often hides beneath practical conflict: the relationship each person had with the parents. One sister may have felt favored. Another may have been trusted with more responsibility. One may have received financial help. Another may have received emotional closeness. One may have been protected. Another may have been expected to cope alone. Years later, an argument about a birthday, a visit, or a loan may actually contain an older question. Did they love you more? This question is rarely asked directly. Instead, it appears as criticism. You always get your way. You never help. Everyone feels sorry for you. You think you are better. These statements may be unfair. They may also point toward an old wound that the family never acknowledged. You cannot repair childhood favoritism by proving which sister suffered more. Pain is not a competition. One person's experience does not cancel another's. You may say, I remember it differently, but I believe that it hurt you. I also carried things that no one saw. I do not want us to keep fighting for a love that should never have been made scarce. This does not require you to agree with every detail. It makes room for emotional truth. Parents may have contributed without intending to. They may have repeated the roles from their own families. They may have lacked emotional skills. Understanding this can reduce hatred. It does not require pretending no harm occurred. Sometimes healing between sisters includes grieving what neither received. The apology may never come from the parent. The family history may never be corrected publicly. But the two of you can choose not to continue distributing the old labels. Do not call her irresponsible because the family did. Do not call yourself cold because you had to become strong. Meet the adult in front of you, not only the child everyone described. The second possible truth is that the two of you may be carrying an old wound neither of you ever named. The original message speaks about childhood comparison. This is common in sibling relationships. One child is called responsible, the other difficult, one beautiful, the other intelligent, one quiet, the other dramatic, one successful, the other caring. Adults may think these labels are harmless. Children often turn them into identity. A sister may grow up believing that love is scarce. That praise for you means less value for her, that your success proves her failure. You may have carried the opposite wound. Perhaps the family expected you to be strong. You received praise but also responsibility. You were the example, the fixer, the one who could not fall apart. Your sister may have seen privilege where you experienced pressure. You may have seen freedom where she experienced neglect. Both realities can exist. This does not excuse cruelty. It explains the soil where resentment may have grown. Stay with me a little longer, because the next part may help you understand why some sibling conflicts feel much larger than the present event that triggered them. A present argument can activate an old family role. You ask a question about money. She hears you are irresponsible again. She sets a boundary. You hear you do not matter to me. You share good news. She feels the old comparison. She needs support. You feel the old burden of being responsible for everyone. The conversation is happening today. The emotions may be decades old. This is why siblings can become children again around each other. Tone changes. Defensiveness rises quickly. Small remarks feel loaded. Everyone remembers a different version of the past. Healing begins when the current issue and the historical wound are separated. You might say, I want to talk about what happened now, but I also think this connects to something older between us. I do not want to compete with you. I know the family compared us. I want to understand what that was like for you. I was carrying pressure too, even if it looked different. I do not want us to keep repeating the roles we were given. This kind of language can open a door, but only if the conversation is safe enough. Not every sister is willing to reflect. Some may deny everything, more vulnerability. Use your honesty as future ammunition. If that has been the pattern, you may need support or a mediated conversation. Healing does not require unlimited exposure. You can be open and still protected. The original message says jealousy is present. Jealousy can exist between people who love each other. It is not proof that the love was fake. Jealousy often reveals pain. I fear there is not enough for me. I fear I was forgotten. I fear your success confirms what I believe about myself. A jealous feeling is human. What matters is what someone does with it. A healthy person recognizes it, takes responsibility, and refuses to sabotage. An unhealthy person turns it into gossip, withholding, competition, imitation, punishment, or control. You cannot diagnose your sister's heart from her facial expression. Look at behavior. Does she minimize your good news? Share private information? Compete at important moments? Create conflict when attention is on you? Contact people from your life without transparency? Use family members to carry messages? These patterns deserve attention, but one quiet reaction is not enough. She may be tired, distracted, grieving, dealing with something unrelated. Discernment resists mind reading. There is another truth we have not reached yet. Sometimes the sister being accused of jealousy is not the only one comparing. Keep listening, because sibling healing becomes possible only when truth is allowed to examine both sides. You may also compare. Perhaps you resent that she received more help, more freedom, more sympathy. Perhaps you feel she is allowed to make mistakes while you must remain responsible. Perhaps you tell yourself that you are more spiritually aware, more mature, or more faithful. This can become another hierarchy. The original message repeatedly declares the listener the strongest and most chosen person in the family. Be cautious. Spiritual superiority can prevent repair. You may be the one receiving this message. That does not mean you understand every motive. It does not make your pain more important. It does not remove your need for accountability. Ask yourself, have I spoken about her instead of to her? Have I used family members to gather information? Have I treated my interpretation as fact? Have I expected her to apologize while refusing to examine my own behavior? Have I used silence as punishment? Have I brought up old failures during new conflicts? Have I shared her private struggles because I wanted validation? These questions do not erase what she did. They protect you from becoming what you oppose. Archangel Michael's sword symbolizes truth in every direction. The strongest person is not the one who is never wrong. It is the one who can admit wrong without collapsing. The third possible truth is that something belongs to you, regardless of whether your sister ever explains herself. Your peace, your boundaries, your future, your ability to heal. You may spend years waiting for one sentence. I am sorry. You were right. I did know. I was jealous. I should have told you. I hurt you. Perhaps the sentence will come. Perhaps it will not. Your healing cannot remain entirely in another person's mouth. You can seek truth. You can request accountability. You can pursue practical correction. But you also need a life beyond waiting for confession. What can you know from the pattern? What boundary is needed even without complete certainty? What responsibility is yours? What grief must be faced? What support can help you stop carrying this alone? Now let us return to the heart of the message. There may be screenshots, messages, documents, or cloud files involved. The original script treats a hidden screenshot as a supernatural clue. In real life, digital evidence can matter, but context matters too. A partial screenshot can mislead. A message can be edited. A statement can be taken from a longer conversation. If someone shows you evidence, ask for the full context. Do not spread it immediately. Varied dates. Names who had access. Whether the account is authentic. If serious harm is involved, preserve the original information and seek appropriate guidance. Do not break into your sister's phone or accounts to confirm a suspicion. Violation does not become justified because you believe she violated you first. If shared property or family accounts are involved, understand the legal and practical boundaries. If you accidentally see something important, pause before interpreting. What does it actually prove? What does it only suggest? Evidence can support a conversation. It should not become entertainment for the family. Family gossip often disguises itself as concern. A person says, "I thought you should know," then shares something that increases conflict without helping resolution. Ask what outcome the information serves. Safety, clarity, or drama? You do not need to know every private thought your sister has had about you. People feel anger, envy, confusion. They may write things during distress that do not represent a settled intention. Focus on behavior that affects your life. The original message says a confrontation will happen. Do not force one because a script predicted it. A quiet word of gratitude before we continue. If this channel has become a place where you can breathe, pray, and hear messages that encourage healing without pressure, you may support it through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is pinned in the comments and included in the description. Every contribution helps us continue preparing and sharing these messages freely. Please support only from peace and only when it is right for you. God's love, grace, and attention are not connected to money. Go-create the conversation intentionally if it is needed. Choose timing, play. Purpose. Do not begin during a family event, illness, celebration, funeral, or crisis unless safety requires immediate action. Do not confront while either of you is intoxicated, exhausted, or emotionally flooded. Consider whether a neutral third person would help. A counselor, family therapist, pastor mimidare, trusted elder who does not take sides automatically. The goal is not to produce a confession on command. The goal is to understand enough to decide what relationship is possible. Begin with observations. I noticed that the information I shared privately reached other people. The financial agreement changed without my knowledge. You contacted someone connected to me and did not tell me. When I ask about this, the subject changes, then impact. This makes it difficult for me to trust. This affects my finances. This has changed how safe I feel sharing personal matters. Then request. I need a direct explanation. I need the documents. I need private information to remain private. I need communication to happen directly, not through the family. Specific language reduces the chance that the conversation becomes a trial of her entire character. You are addressing behavior, not declaring that she is evil. Stay with me, because the next part is where truth and love must become separate skills. Love does not mean avoiding the truth, and truth does not require cruelty. You may fear that speaking honestly will destroy the relationship. Silence may already be destroying it. But timing and tone matter. A truth delivered as humiliation often produces defense. A truth delivered clearly and privately has a greater chance of being heard. This is not guaranteed. You can communicate well and still receive denial. Your responsibility is not to control her response. It is to speak without abandoning yourself. If she denies, do not immediately list every historical grievance. Repeat the specific concern. Ask for time. End the conversation if it becomes abusive. You may say, I hear that you disagree. I still need this boundary. We do not have to resolve everything today. I will not continue while we are insulting each other. I am willing to revisit this with a mediator. This is strength. Silence after a boundary can be healthy. Silence used to punish and create fear is different. Now your intention. If you are withdrawing to regulate and protect, communicate that when possible. I need a few days before continuing. If you disappear to make her chase, the pattern remains manipulative. You may be tempted to involve the whole family. Sometimes support is necessary. But family campaigns can deepen division. Do not recruit people only to prove that you are right. Choose the smallest circle necessary for safety and clarity. One wise person may be more helpful than 10 emotional opinions. The original message connects sibling conflict with delayed blessings, blocked finances, and spiritual heaviness. Your sister's behavior may affect your life directly, but do not make her responsible for every delay. Jobs, relationships, health, and finances involve many factors. Blaming her for everything gives her too much power and prevents practical change. Ask where her actions had real impact. Then ask what belongs elsewhere. Perhaps an opportunity failed because information was withheld. That deserves attention. Another delay may come from preparation, timing, market conditions, or your own decisions. Truth should become more precise, not more dramatic. The same applies to health. Stress from family conflict can affect sleep, appetite, concentration, and the body. But chills, chest pressure, headaches, or fatigue are not proof of deception. Seek medical care when symptoms are concerning. Do not turn the body into evidence against your sister. The body deserves care, not interpretation alone. Dreams may also reflect family conflict. You may dream of your sister apologizing, attacking, disappearing, or becoming a child again. These dreams can reveal your fears and hopes. They do not tell you what she secretly did. Bright them if meaningful. Use them to ask questions about your own emotions. Do not accuse based on a dream. A wise spiritual path can honor symbolism while remaining grounded. Caregiving can also expose hidden resentment. When a parent becomes ill, one sister may provide daily care while another contributes money. One may live nearby, another may manage appointments from a distance. Each may believe she is carrying more. The caregiver may feel abandoned. The distant sister may feel excluded from decisions. The sister who handles money may feel suspected. The sister handling the home may feel controlled. Without clear communication, everyone can feel unappreciated. Caregiving needs structure. List responsibilities, medical appointments, transportation, medication, household tasks, financial contributions, emergency decisions, rest periods. Do not assume one sister will naturally carry everything because she is unmarried, lives closer, or has always been dependable. Her time still belongs to her. Do not assume money is the only meaningful contribution. Daily care has emotional and physical cost. Do not assume the primary caregiver should make every decision without transparency. Shared information can protect both the family and the person receiving care. Use written updates when appropriate. Keep records of significant expenses. Clarify who has legal authority. Discuss what will happen if the situation becomes more demanding. These conversations can feel uncomfortable. They are easier before a crisis than during one. If resentment has already grown, name the imbalance without attacking identity. I am overwhelmed and need the responsibilities redistributed. I need access to the information required to help. I cannot continue paying this amount without a plan. I appreciate what you are doing, and I also need clarity. A sister who says she cannot do everything is not necessarily abandoning the family. A sister who asks for records is not necessarily accusing anyone. Specific requests reduce moral judgment. Professional support may help. A social worker, care coordinator, doctor, financial advisor, attorney, community service. Family love should not be expected to replace every practical resource. The strongest family is not the one that handles everything alone. It is the one willing to use available help before everyone breaks. Now let us speak about forgiveness. The original message says you should continue loving your sister, even if she denies everything. Love does not require unrestricted access. Forgiveness does not remove consequences. You may forgive and still stop sharing private information. Forgive and require repayment. Forgive and decline family business. Forgive and take distance. Forgive and seek legal protection. Forgiveness is the release of revenge. Trust is a separate process. Trust returns through consistency. Transparency, changed behavior, respect for boundaries. Time, do not rush trust because the family wants peace. Peace hides the wound until the next crisis. Real peace makes room for truth. You may also need to forgive yourself for not seeing the pattern sooner, for sharing too much, for reacting badly, for staying silent, for comparing, for saying something you regret. Self-forgiveness is not avoiding responsibility. It is accepting responsibility without turning one mistake into a permanent identity. You can repair, apologize, learn. There is another layer to this message, and it may be the most freeing. You are not responsible for rescuing your sister from the consequences of every choice she makes. You may have become the strong one, the helper, the person who explains her behavior to everyone, the one who lends money, covers mistakes, protects the family image, keeps secrets, steps in during every crisis. This role may feel like love. It may also prevent accountability. Helping is not the same as rescuing. Helping supports someone who is participating in change. Rescuing repeatedly removes consequences while the pattern continues. You may say, "I love you," but I cannot solve this for you. I can help you find support, but I cannot pay this again. I will listen, but I will not lie for you. I will stand beside you while you take responsibility. These boundaries can feel cruel when you are accustomed to carrying everything. They are not. They make adult relationship possible. Your sister may become angry. She may call you selfish. The family may pressure you. Stay connected to your reason. A boundary is not a punishment. It is a condition for healthy participation. If the issue involves addiction, abuse, severe mental health concerns, financial exploitation, or danger, seek professional guidance. Love alone cannot safely manage every crisis. You are not failing because the situation needs more support than you can provide. Social media can intensify sister conflict. A photograph may make one sister feel excluded. A caption may sound indirect. A family celebration may appear online before someone was told privately. One sister may compare homes, relationships, bodies, careers, or children. The phone turns private insecurity into daily exposure. Do not use posts as your primary evidence of someone's heart. People share fragments. A smiling photograph can hide pain. A quiet account can reflect privacy, not anger. An indirect quote may have nothing to do with you. If a post affects you, pause before reacting publicly. Ask directly when the relationship allows it. Do not answer with another indirect message. Do not invite strangers into a family conflict through vague accusations. The public may reward drama. It rarely repairs trust. You may need to mute your sister temporarily. This is not necessarily rejection. It may help reduce comparison while you work on the real relationship. You can love someone without consuming every update. You can celebrate her while protecting your own emotional stability. If your sister shares your photos, children, personal news, health information, or private story without permission, state the boundary clearly. Please ask before posting information about me. I do not want the children's location shared. Remove that private detail. Digital boundaries are real boundaries. Repeated violation deserves consequences. Stop providing material that is repeatedly shared. Adjust privacy settings. Document serious harassment. Seek platform or professional support if necessary. The goal is not to win the online story. The goal is to protect real life. Beloved, let us build a simple sister relationship map. Take a page and write 4 headings: facts, history, burial, hope. Under facts, write what can be verified, what was said, what happened, what information was withheld, what money moved, what message was shared. Under history, write the older pattern: comparison, favoritism, competition, responsibility, neglect, rescuing, silence. Under boundary, write what must change now: private information, money, context, family involvement, shared responsibilities. The way conversations happen. Under hope, write what you still want if it is possible: honesty, repair, respect, a distant without hatred, a mediated conversation, a different kind of relationship. This map prevents you from confusing the past with the present. It also prevents the present event from being minimized. Now choose one next step, not the entire solution. One step, gather the document. Write down the timeline, ask for a private conversation, request mediation. Stop sharing sensitive information, separate finances, take a week of distance. Guilty, counseling. Let one grounded step replace 10 fearful conclusions. Before the conversation, decide what you will do if she responds well, and what you will do if she does not. A boundary becomes stronger when it does not depend on the other person agreeing. You may hope for repair. As we move toward the final prayer, I want to thank those who quietly make this work possible. If these messages have strengthened your faith, helped you see a family pattern more clearly, or given you language for healing and boundaries, you may support the channel through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is available in the pinned comment and description. Your support helps us keep these messages accessible to people who need them. Give only if you genuinely wish to and are able. Nothing spiritual is withheld from those who do not contribute. Prepare for reality. If she takes responsibility, move slowly. Do not demand perfection. Look for consistency. If she denies and the evidence is clear, protect yourself. If the evidence is uncertain, remain open while reducing risk. If you realize your interpretation was wrong, apologize directly. Truth is not a weapon you only use against others. It is a place you stand. Stay with me through this final portion, because the prayer ahead is not asking heaven to expose or punish your sister. It is asking for courage to face what is real, humility to correct what is yours, and wisdom to protect love without protecting deception. Before we pray, remember the person beneath the conflict. Your sister may have been the child who shared food with you, the teenager who annoyed you, the adult who disappointed you, the person who once protected you, the person who may also have harmed you. A human being can contain contradiction. You do not need to turn her into an angel or an enemy. See the whole person, then choose the boundary that reality requires. You can remember love without denying harm. You can acknowledge harm without erasing every good memory. This complexity is painful. It is also mature. Now let us pray. God of truth, mercy, and reconciliation, meet the person listening in the place where sibling love has become wounded. Where a secret exists, bring it into responsible clarity. Where suspicion has grown without evidence, bring patience and restraint. Where deception has caused real harm, bring accountability. Where childhood comparison still controls the present, bring healing. Where jealousy exists, bring honesty without shame. Where favoritism shaped both sisters, expose the old roles and create new freedom. Let the image of Archangel Michael remind this listener that protection does not require hatred, truth does not require humiliation, and love does not require blindness. Give them courage to ask direct questions, wisdom to gather facts, patience to choose timing, humility to admit where they were wrong, strength to set boundaries where trust has been damaged, protect their finances, protect their private information, protect their home, protect their health, protect the relationship from gossip, manipulation, and family campaigns. If professional help is needed, lead them toward counselors, mediators, attorneys, doctors, or advocates with integrity. Where one sister has been carrying too much, release the burden. Where one sister has been avoiding responsibility, bring maturity. Where both have been trapped in childhood roles, create a new way of meeting as adults. Help them distinguish privacy from deception, concern from control, forgiveness from restored access, love from rescuing, silence from peace. Where reconciliation is possible, let it grow slowly through changed behavior. Where distance is necessary, let it remain free from revenge. Where complete answers never come, give peace strong enough to live without them. Beloved, the message is not that your sister's is secretly evil. The message is that sibling relationships can carry hidden pain, and hidden pain deserves honest attention. The message is that you do not need supernatural proof to set a reasonable boundary. The message is that you also do not need to accuse before facts are clear. The message is that your future does not depend entirely on her confession. When this message ends, remain still for 1 minute. Ask, what do I actually know? What old wound is being activated? What boundary belongs to me? What hope is still honest? Write the answers. Choose one action within the next 24 hours. Not an angry message, not a public accusation, one grounded action. A note, a request, a document, a pause, a call for support. Let wisdom become the first step. Thank you for sharing this sacred time with us. Subscribe if you would like to continue receiving prayers and messages that strengthen faith, discernment, family healing, and emotional peace. Share this message only if you believe it may genuinely help someone approach a wounded sibling relationship with greater wisdom. May truth enter without cruelty. May hidden pain receive language. May old comparison lose power. May financial confusion become clear. May gossip lose its audience. May boundaries become strong. May apologies become honest. May forgiveness become free from pressure. May both sisters become responsible for their own healing, and may the courage represented by Archangel Michael remind you that you do not need to destroy the relationship to stop the deception. You need truth. You need wisdom. You need boundaries. You need support. You are not weak because family pain still affects you. You are not foolish because you trusted your sister. You are not disloyal because you need clarity. You are not cruel because access must change. Take one final breath. Honor what was real. Name what was harmful. Protect what matters. Release what you cannot control. Walk in courage. Walk in humility. Walk in truth. Walk in peace.